Well, did you find what you were looking for, Mr. Marlin?
No, because several issues of the newspaper, several weeks, are missing from this file of 1971-72.
I'm sure you're wrong about that.
No, look. It jumps from March all the way until June.
I don't know how that could have happened.
Yeah, I think I do. How long do you keep records of the people who check these volumes out like I've just done?
6 months.
Well, would you please check and see that, see if Joe Bradley or Jack Williams checked out these very same volumes sometime during the past 6 months?
Why, yes, there is a J. Williams here. And he asked for the exact same files you did.
I knew it.
Are you implying that Mr. Williams actually stole those missing issues?
Yeah, I am. Look, Miss Kersey, I'm interested in finding out some information about a company that was headquartered here in Omaha by the name of Laird and Sogard.
No, I don't know it.
Well, it's no longer in existence, but I was hoping to find out some information as to how and why it went out of business from the issues of the Omaha Record. Unfortunately, the issues that are missing.
Well, you might find what you're looking for in the Hall of Records down at City Hall. They have charters and tax records on all the local businesses on file there.
Good. Well, I'm going to get over there right away. Thank you very much for your help.
Well, Hope was so relieved to find out that Ross had found Carrie.
When did you talk to Hope?
Oh, I was over there last night.
Oh. Has she had any more of those strange phone calls?
Well, dear, when I mentioned them, without alluding to them directly, she didn't react at all, so I think changing the telephone number probably did the trick.
Or maybe it means that whoever hired that assassin was really only after Alan, and he's given up now that Alan's in prison.
Yeah, but don't forget whoever hired him also had him killed, so he's still out there, and I'm not going to rest until he's found.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, hi.
Hi, dear.
So what are you up to?
Bert, I'm going to stop by and see Hope and the baby this afternoon after my last class.
Oh, good. And how are you enjoying college?
Well, it's okay, I guess. I mean, I'll never get my PhD or anything, but my mother and Kelly are happy, so. Excuse me?
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Thanks. Hi, Hillary.
Hi.
Have you seen Kelly around here?
Last I heard, he was in with Nola.
That's funny. I was just at the with the nurse at the desk on 3, and she called Nola's room, and there was no answer. I guess I'll have to go back down there and track him down. I need the car today. See you later.
Are you tired? Maybe we should go back to your room.
No, just a couple more minutes, okay?
Sure. I don't want you overdoing it.
Gosh, I knew she'd be small. I didn't think she'd be so tiny. She looks so sad in that machine. Kelly. Kelly, are you sure she's gonna be all right?
I told you, every day she's getting stronger and stronger. I mean, her chances are much better now, and they'll be even better tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe you. Just as she's so tiny.
Come on, walk back to your room.
The award-winning Guiding Light. This portion is presented by Cascade, the dishwasher detergent that leaves dishes and glasses virtually spotless. And by new cushion quilted Pampers. They help keep your little baby dry.
Morgan? Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Morgan.
Nola.
Kelly was just taking me to see my baby for the first time.
I came here to get the keys to your car.
Yeah, sure. They're in my locker. Why don't I go get them and bring them back here?
No, I'd rather wait with Hillary on 4.
Well, Morgan, I guess it's just hard for her to understand that you're...
Let's not talk about Morgan, okay? The important thing is that you're okay and your baby's okay. The rest will take... What's wrong? You in pain?
No, I guess I'm just a little shocked at seeing the baby for the first time. I mean, she looks so small and helpless in that incubator.
Well, just take it easy. Don't walk again until you feel you're up to it.
Okay.
I'm sure you're right. Nola's enjoying every minute of it, but Kelly has now forgotten what she's like and what she tried to do last summer. Now, he's just trying to act like a professional in what's got to be a very uncomfortable situation for him.
Hillary, it's so hard when I see them together like that.
I know that, but just think, it's all going to be over in a few days. She'll be released from the hospital, and she won't be back here except for exams and to see the baby, so she'll have no more contact with Kelly.
I just feel so frustrated. I can't say anything to Kelly because then I'm interfering with his professional life. I just have to sit back and swallow hard and watch her put on that phony grateful act of hers.
Well, in this case, I think it might be sincere. After all, he did save her life.
Hillary, I still feel that somehow she knows how guilty Kelly feels about waiting that 20 minutes before he went out there. I also think she knows that I had something to do with his waiting, and she's just playing up that guilt trip for all it's worth.
Oh, Morgan, there's no way in the world she could know that.
Listen, Tony asked me the other night why you've never been over to Wired for Sound. I started wondering the same thing.
Well, I never was very big on the single scene.
Eve, you meet a lot of nice people there. You know? I mean, you're not going to meet anybody sitting alone in your apartment.
Katie, I don't think I'm interested in meeting anybody right now. I've been thinking a lot about leaving Springfield and maybe even going back to Bluefield. I mean, after Samantha's old enough and Jackie can take care of the shop.
That's the worst thing you could ever do. Eve, have you ever heard of that phrase, you can't ever go home again? Well, it's true. It is. Once you've made that decision to move out, that's the start of your own life. You can't go back. You got to stick with it. You miss out on all the great things that could happen to you.
What about all the not-so-great things?
All right, look. I mean, there's been many times that I've wanted to run away, too, you know? I mean, especially after Andy was arrested and sent away to prison. I mean, but if I'd done that then, I never would have met Tony. How long is Ben staying in Springfield?
Well, I don't think he even knows for sure, but I guess he'll be here long enough, you know, until the divorce gets underway.
Well, I don't know what happened to those two. Well, the last I heard, Amanda was really excited about him coming home. Must have been quite a shock.
It was a terrible shock for her. I don't know if she's even going to ever get over it. It's just been so strange since Ben's been back.
Strange? How?
I don't know. It's just his being back has stirred up all kinds of feelings I thought were gone for good. You know, feelings I haven't had since Ben married Amanda, and I don't know. I guess it's just because I don't have anybody else in my life right now.
Good morning. I understand they serve the best cup of coffee in town here.
I just stopped by the hospital on the way back from the courthouse. Ned told me you called. Have you found something?
Yes, I think I may have stumbled across a few things out here this time. Definitely, though, no thanks to Dr. Hunt. I called him first thing this morning. He flatly refused to talk to me, even refused to set up an appointment to see me.
Oh, really? Well, did he treat you that way before or after you told him it was about Carrie Todd?
Oh, after, because I told him right away. Now, Dr. Hunt acknowledged that she had been a patient of his many years ago, and that's why his name was on that prescription for tranquilizers, but he refused to discuss anything more and said there was no point in seeing him.
Huh. Well, you're just going to have to tell him that she's going to face trial next week on 2 charges of murder. And if he still refuses to talk to you, then just tell him that you'll force him to talk under the oath on the stand. And you might remind him that in this state, the psychiatrist-patient confidentiality isn't acknowledged in cases where death is involved.
I know, but look, Mike, I am not looking forward to a hostile witness on the stand, you know.
Well, you don't have time to worry about something like that, Ross. Now, you said you stumbled onto something. What is it?
Yeah, I went to the morgues of both Omaha newspapers, and I went through the 1971, 1972 files. Now, in both cases, the March through June files were missing, and also in both cases, Jack Williams had been to the newspaper morgue and asked for the very same issues. Now, I am sure that he stole them.
Well, it proves you're on the right track. William must have found out something in those missing files, and then when Joe Bradley got it, it convinced him that it was Carrie that killed Diane.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I went down to City Hall here in Omaha, and I checked out the records of Laird and Sogard, the firm that both Diane and Carrie worked for years ago. Now, I found out that the firm showed nice, steady profits through their first several years of business. But then suddenly the company filed bankruptcy, and they went out of business. But there's no apparent cause for that in any of the records I checked through. Out of desperation, I asked the clerk at the Hall of Records about it, and he vaguely remembered something about some kind of public scandal was involved, but he couldn't remember any of the specifics. And I'm sure that it's all in those missing newspapers.
It's not hard to see Diane's hand at work. Here is it. I mean, with a scandal and bankruptcy, etc.
There was a stroke of good luck, though. James Laird still lives in Omaha, and he has his own business here now. I called him, and I have an appointment to see him later today.
Oh.
I'm a bit gun-shy about this, though, Mike, because, you see, the minute I tell people that it has anything to do with Carrie, they either disappear like Williams or they clam up like Dr. Hunt.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me know what happens when you talk to Laird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard from that attorney in St. Paul, who drew up Diane's will.
Yeah, Mike, did he have any idea why Diane would leave $5,000 to Mrs. McKenzie?
No, he said he was acting on her instructions.
All right. Well, thanks anyway, Mike. I'll get back to you as soon as I know anything more.
All right. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Bye. I'm sorry I tied up your phone for so long.
Sounds like Ross is running into one dead end after another out there.
Yeah. But when that happens, there's usually a reason for it. And the question is, what is Carrie trying to hide, and why are people so frightened when Ross talks to him about her?
Well, he's a pretty determined man himself. I think he'll come up with some answers. Thank you. You know, since I've been back here in Springfield, we've talked about everyone except you. I mean, what are you doing with yourself these days besides taking care of the shop and worrying about everyone you know?
Nothing else, really. As a matter of fact, Katie was just by here, and she was trying to talk me into going over to Wired for Sound. You know, the new disco, that Tony Reardon, Nola's brother.
But that's a good idea. You should get out more, mix with people.
I guess I'm not as desperate as you and Katie make me sound.
No, I don't think that. I hate the idea that you're on your day off, you don't have any plans.
Well, I did have some tentative plans, but I hadn't had them confirmed yet.
Oh?
Yeah, Jackie asked me by for dinner tonight. And she wanted me to ask you to come along, too, if you're free.
So why didn't you say yes?
Because I didn't know if you were free. I didn't know if you wanted to.
Oh, well, all right, you can call Jackie right now and tell her that we would love to come. And from now on, you have my blanket permission to accept any and all invitations on my behalf, all right?
Thanks. So, Jackie, this is Eve.
Hello, Nola? Oh, hi, Katie. Got a message you wanted to see me.
Yeah.
Are you feeling all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling lots better. Kelly's really been wonderful. He took me on a walk to see my baby today.
Oh, good. I just came from pediatrics. They said the Reardon baby's doing fine.
Yeah, well, I just hate seeing that tag on the incubator. It's real sad, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you have to understand you weren't really planning on having a baby quite this soon, so it's not unusual to see a family name like that, especially if the baby's, premature.
Yeah, but when the baby's name is the same as the mother's and there's no father around, I think it kind of makes it a little worse, but that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I know Floyd is feeling a little left out, because I've been doing everything to make him stop worrying about me and the baby and just to get on with his life.
I know, and I appreciate that. I mean, considering the fact that you don't want to commit yourself to him, I think that's the best idea in the long run. Could you kind of get to the point? I have to get on duty in about 15 minutes.
Sorry, Katie.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to do something nice for Floyd since, the baby can't have his last name, and I was just wondering, what your mom's name is.
Louise.
Louise. Louise, yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's a nice name. I like it.
If you're planning on using that name for your baby, it could be one of the nicest things you could ever do for Floyd. I mean, we didn't, have a very happy home life, so it wasn't our mom's fault, though.
Oh, well, listen, don't say anything to anybody about it.
No, I won't. But
All right.
thank you, Nola. I mean, even if it is a little bit premature,
Oh, don't say that word. It makes me nervous.
Yeah, I know. Well, I gotta get back to work, but okay, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Started my day off to a good start. Thank you.
Okay. Kelly Louise. Kelly Louise. That has a nice ring to it. Yeah.
We'll continue with part 2 of Guiding Light in a moment. This portion of Guiding Light is presented by Minty Fresh Scope. Fights bad breath without giving you medicine breath. And by Zest, the deodorant bar that leaves no sticky soap film so you feel really clean.
Oh, you're in a good mood today.
Well, Nola told me something this morning that gave me a little bit of a lift.
Oh, this I got to hear. Well?
All right, but you've got to promise not to tell anybody, okay? If it ever got back to Floyd, Nola would never trust me again.
Oh, that'll be a switch. Nola not trusting somebody.
Look, I know how you feel about her, but I really think she's changed since she started working for this McCord guy. And this little brush with death and having a baby, I think it's really mellowed her.
I'd like to believe that.
Okay, listen to this. She asked me today what my mother's name was. She's considering using it to name the baby. Wouldn't it be great for Floyd?
Well, I have to admit that is a lovely thought, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How's Evie doing?
Oh, she's fine. Kind of misses seeing you around the building, though.
Wonder how many people know about my situation with Derek.
Why? Does it bother you?
Oh, no, not really. I'm being honest with myself. I'm being honest with Derek. I think that's all that really matters.
Hey, listen, how about a group of us getting together and going to Resurface Town again tonight? I know the manager, he could get us a good table.
Well, that sounds good to me. Oh, I might be a little late, though, because I told Mrs. Tynan I'd work a couple extra hours.
Okay, I've got a short shift. Make up for all the work I put in over the holidays.
Now I know why you're in such a good mood.
Hi.
Yeah.
Is that his office?
Oh, yeah, he is. I hear you took Nola for her first real walk this morning.
Yeah, I did. She's been wanting to see her baby very badly.
Hey, a bunch of us are getting together to go to Wired for Sound tonight. How about you and Morgan joining us?
Yeah, sounds great. I know Morgan would like to. Count us in unless you hear from him.
Okay, good.
Terrific. Oh, it's starting to turn into a real party. I wonder if Leslie Ann would come this time. At least Floyd would have somebody to sit with, between sets. I'm going to try.
Morgan was pretty upset. She saw me with Nola earlier, wasn't she?
Yeah, I know. I talked with her about it. She's still got a lot of fears about Nola.
Yeah, Leslie Ann?
She's trying very hard to understand your position.
Yeah, I know. It's not easy for either one of us. But if Nola keeps on improving the way she is, she should be out in a couple of days, and that should ease some tensions. Well, Hillary, listen, I want to thank you for talking to her, okay? I mean, she respects you, and I don't know, somehow you can make her understand things that I can't even get through to her.
Well, I think being in love with somebody sometimes gets in the way of your understanding.
Yeah. Well, I better go catch Ed. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Shoot. I just struck out with Leslie Ann again. I don't understand it. I know she likes Floyd. She keeps saying what a wonderful guy he is, and yet she turns him down every time he asks her out.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen it happen, too. Well, it's time for me to go to lunch. I'll see you later.
Ciao. Whoa.
I just stopped by to see if maybe you could have...
Derek, your timing gets better every day.
Really?
I think you should stop that. People are going to talk.
Let them talk.
You know, while you're in this kind of devil-may-care mood, I think I ought to tell you that a bunch of us are getting together tonight at the Hideout, and since I know you're the king of the discos, I signed us up without telling you about it.
Getting pretty pushy, aren't you? No, it's just fine with me.
And I've been wanting to have this talk with you for a long time, ever since I blew up in here and said a lot of things I regretted.
Well, I thought of what you said, too. You may have been right. I shouldn't have turned Morgan into the heavy.
Yeah, but still, I had no right to say those things I did about Vanessa.
Why not? Some of them were pretty accurate. I mean, even a chief of staff can let his personal hang-ups get in the way sometimes. The things I just found out about Vanessa, I'm sure they colored my whole outlook. You were right. Anyway, we said what we said. We can't take it back. Let's forget about it. All right? Everything except the professional issues involved.
Right, sure. Thanks. You know, if I hadn't been so damn guilty of what you were accusing me of, I never would have reacted as defensively as I did.
Don't do that. Come on, sit down. Sit down for me. Look, Kelly, you're in the middle of a very, very difficult situation. I mean, I know that. Margaret offered to take you off the case, and you refused. How come?
Well, I figured if I can get through this, I can get through anything, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. What was Morgan's reaction when you told her that you turned down a chance to get taken off Nola's case?
I haven't told her yet, but I will. Well, as far as her reaction, I have no idea what it's going to be, because she can't exactly be objective where Nola's concerned. But she's trying. I mean, she really is. So we'll get through it.
I think you will. And when you do, you'll find your marriage is a lot stronger than it was before.
There's good old 7th Street. Yeah. Well, I guess it's good to be reminded of your background. So then you can see how far you've come. And as for the rest of the way, I'll get there. No matter how long it takes.
Hello, Nola. I've come over here between classes because I think it's about time you and I had a little talk.
So, you want to have a little talk? Gosh, Morgan, you know, I remember a lot of times when I wanted to talk to you, but you just didn't feel like it.
That's because we had nothing to talk about.
We do now? Well, see, the problem is, Morgan, I think your timing's a little off because Kelly should be here any minute to check on my condition. He usually does about 3-4 times every shift.
That's because he is a very dedicated doctor, and I'm not going to let you take advantage of that.
You know, Morgan, I think you can talk a little plainer than that, can't you? I mean, you know, with all the college courses that you're taking and everything.
Yes, I can. How's this? I know exactly what you're doing, Nola. You know, you used to treat me like a fool, but not anymore. Because I know exactly what you're doing. I can see right through you. Maybe nobody else can, but I can.
Oh. I really don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. You see, my husband feels a great responsibility to all of his patients. And my being his wife, it's my job to support him. And I'm not going to let you use him for your own personal reasons that have nothing to do with your medical condition. So I'm telling you now, Nola, I'm going to keep a good eye on you from now on.
You know, Morgan, I really can't believe this. You know, what, you and Kelly are together 6 months now, and you're just as insecure as you were before you...
I am not insecure.
Oh, yeah? Well, what are you doing here? I mean, you know, I may not have gone to college, or I might may not have read any books, but you see, I know people, and I know them really well. It's because I watch them, you see. I watch them and I see what makes them tick. And I happen to know that people involved in a secure relationship don't go around accusing other people of playing games when they couldn't care less.
Look, I'm not interested in your insights, Nola. I'm here to tell you that I know exactly what you're doing, and either you cut it out or I'll...
You're what? Oh, you're what, Morgan? Just what exactly are you going to do? Well, you see, it's like I said, Morgan. You see, I know people, and I certainly know Kelly. And if you start trying to tell him what he can or cannot do as a doctor, or who he can and cannot treat as a patient, your marriage is going to go right down the drain, and you know that. You see, Morgan, I'm really glad you came here today because, well, see, everybody keeps telling me how perfect your marriage is. But I know that's not so, or you wouldn't be here right now. So you see, Morgan, I can talk a little plainer than you can. And you see, you're scared. You're really scared. But you see, that's your problem. Not mine. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm getting a little tired. I've had a rough day. I think if you just go back to your little college classes, leave me alone, it'll be good.
You have used every ugly, cheap trick that you can think of to try and get my husband to marry you. And now you're using your health to try and get him closer to you. Well, it's not going to work, Nola. Because I'm not the little child that you used to manipulate. I am a married woman. And I'm going to stand up for my marriage. And not you, not anyone is going to come between it. And if you do, you're going to be very, very sorry. Is that plain enough for you, Nola?
Yeah, hi. This is Nola Reardon. I've decided on a name for my baby, and so I was wondering if you could send somebody down with the tag. So, yeah, we could get it on the incubator. Yeah, like all the other babies have. Yeah. Thanks.
So, Leslie Ann, you think you'll change your mind about coming to Wired for Sound tonight?
I'd really like to, Hillary, but I can't.
Oh. Well, maybe next time.
Yeah,
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
What, are you trying to give me a complex or something?
But you have a complex with all your adoring fans.
Well, it's just not the same, as having someone special there in the audience. Someone you could talk to after the show is finished. I don't think we've ever sit down and talked to each other outside this hospital.
Well, when's your next night off?
Day after tomorrow.
All right. I'll ask my roommate to make other plans that night, and I'll cook dinner for us if you'd like.
Great, I'd love it.
Good.
But I don't want to pressure you into inviting me to dinner.
No, it's not. I've been wanting to ask you for a long time. I just didn't know if I had the right.
Oh, that's a funny thing to say.
What I meant is I'm up in the air right now about so many things. I don't even know if I can make it as a student nurse, so... Don't pay any attention to me when I start talking like this. I've never been really sure of myself or what I want to do with my life.
Well, look, I've spent most of my life being unsure of myself. Maybe that's why I liked you so much right off. Before I met you, I went through this period where, well, I thought that nobody would like me unless I acted like a fool or a clown to make people laugh. And I knew deep down inside that really wasn't me.
Well, you're certainly not like that now.
Well, no. That's because I fell in love with someone that made me feel different about myself. Although it didn't work out with this other person, but they gave me a sense of pride about myself because I really knew that she did love me once. I guess sometimes it takes someone to believe in you first before you can believe in yourself. Have you ever been in love?
I thought I was once. It did make me proud of myself, just ashamed.
Well, then it wasn't the real thing.
You're right. I found out too late that he never really loved me. He was just using me.
That must be an awful feeling. The only thing that kept me going since I lost this girl was the fact that knowing that she really did love me once. And the reason that she didn't want to marry me was because she thought she'd be using me. You know, this is the first real conversation that we've ever had. I feel a lot closer to you now. I'm really looking forward to the day after tomorrow when I can come by for dinner.
I'm looking forward to it too, Floyd.
Great. Would you like some more coffee?
Thanks. I love some.
For Nola and her little girl, I'm so proud of you both. I love you very much. Floyd.
I'm not ashamed, Floyd. I didn't want to know that you were the father.
How come you look so sad? I hope having a serious conversation doesn't make you feel this way. I mean, if it does, we can lighten it up from here on in.
It's not that, Floyd. I was just wondering why that person you're talking about didn't marry you. I think she gave up somebody terribly special.
Hi, Mike. Hey, Ben. Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
You too.
I just hung up the phone with Jackie. She invited me over for dinner. Said you and Eve were going to be there.
Yeah, right. Can you make it?
No, I'm afraid dinner's out of the question, but maybe I can drop by a little bit later.
Good.
So, what can I do for you?
Mike, Ben's a little troubled about something that's to do with the divorce, and since you saw Amanda so recently, I thought perhaps you might be able to help him out.
Yeah, yes, she came by and asked me to handle a divorce for her. She's very upset with Ross because he's spending so much time on Carrie's case.
Are you going to handle it for her?
No, I told her I'd try to avoid divorces, and quite honestly, I wanted to give her some time to think about it, so she doesn't act on such a highly emotional level.
I'm afraid that she's approaching everything that way now.
Yeah, I know. She got very upset with me, just stormed out of here.
I think that was the same day that she attacked Eve in her outer office. Amanda has always been extremely jealous of Eve, and I would hate to see Eve's name dragged through a divorce court. Did Amanda say anything to you about naming Eve as co-respondent?
No. But quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she would. I mean, she's been very hurt, and she's going to try to hurt back, especially if she felt that Eve was at all responsible for your decision.
I was afraid you'd say that. Well, I know what I have to do now.
What's that?
As long as I'm in Springfield, I'm going to want to spend as much time with Eve as I can, and that's only going to make Amanda more vindictive, so I think it'd be best for Eve if I just got out of town, stayed out of town until the divorce is over.
Well, I doubt very much if Eve would go along with that if she knew what your reasons were.
No, I know, so I won't tell her my real reason, but I have to do this for her sake.
When I'm with Ben, I don't really think about those confused feelings, but just sitting here talking to you about it right now, it just almost seems as if it's just because I haven't seen Ben in so long, and what I'm probably doing is responding to the memory of the marriage that we had.
Yeah, good memories can be kind of hard to shake sometimes. But you and Ben had a pretty good marriage in the beginning, from what I hear, right? For the most part.
Yeah, well, we did, but then so much happened, and, we both went through so many changes and everything. Then I grew up, and I had to learn a lot of important things for myself, and, Ben married Amanda.
Yeah, well, I guess you have to kind of go through those kind of changes before you realize that what you had was pretty special. Yeah? So maybe the longer Ben's here, the more you see of him, the clearer things will get. And, just don't push it, I guess.
I won't. Yeah.
Well, ladies, am I interrupting anything?
No, not at all.
Sit in.
Oh, thank you. I'm fine. Evie, to what do we owe the pleasure of your company at Thea's Hospital today?
Well, I came by to talk to Ed. And when I was there, he told me that Mike was trying very hard and concentrating on trying to find Rita. And that's so that they can get his divorce underway.
Well, I talked to Michael about that earlier, too. And Ed cannot get on with his life until Michael does find her. Didn't she get in touch with Viola at all over the holidays?
No. And I'll never forgive her for doing this and worrying Mama the way she did.
Do you have any idea, Evie, why she's so determined not to let anybody know where she is?
I don't have the slightest idea. Anyway, did you ask Mike if he'd heard anything from Ross about Omaha?
No, I did ask him, and he apparently hasn't found out anything more. And I'm afraid that he doesn't have much more time.
I was Carrie's nurse for a few days. She didn't talk much, but I got a general idea of what she was like. It doesn't seem possible that she could kill anybody.
Mr. Mahler, I never would have agreed to see you if I had known that you weren't interested in investment counseling. That is my business.
Yes, I'm sorry I had to be a little less than honest out there with your secretary. But so far, everyone in Omaha has refused to talk to me when I tell them that I'm investigating the background of a client of mine, a client that I'm going to have to defend in court next week back in Springfield.
Yes, well, I have nothing to hide, so I'll help you if I can, but please, let's make it quick. I'd like to get home to my family.
Yes, of course. Now, 10 years ago, you were the senior partner in a firm by the name of Laird and Sogard. Is that correct?
Yes, but what does that have to do with your client?
Well, I want to find out everything about her background at that time because it may be very vital to her defense. Now, listen, she was working in your art department, and at that time, her name was Carrie Anderson. Mr. Laird, I would appreciate anything that you could tell me.
Mr. Mahler, I would if I could, but believe me, that name means absolutely nothing to me. There were several young people in our art department, but I didn't know any of them personally. May I ask you what your client is being charged with that makes you come all the way to Omaha for your investigation?
Carrie has been charged with murder. The murder of another ex-employee of Laird and Sogard. Someone I'm sure that you will remember because she was a junior executive in your firm. Her name is Diane Ballard.
Are those for Jackie?
Jackie's are in the car. These are for you.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I take your coat?
No, it's fine. Just leave it on the chair.
How was your appointment with Derek today?
Oh, all right. I've done everything I can do. The rest is up to Amanda now.
I had a nice talk with Ed today at the hospital. He was telling me that he and Mike are doing everything they could to try and find Rita so that Ed could get on with his life.
Yeah, I know how he feels. I've been making a few plans in that direction myself.
What kind of plans?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't actually decided yet, but when I do, you'll be the first to know. You know, every time I look at that sketch, it brings back another memory.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I always remember that Christmas about a year ago when you brought it into the shop.
Was that just a year ago?
Yeah? Why?
God, just so many things have happened since then.
I know, Katie and I were both talking about all the changes that have happened in our lives.
But some things don't change, and that's a comforting thought. You've hardly changed at all since I did that sketch of you.
Oh, I like to believe that, but I know better. You're lovely.
Yeah.
And you know it makes me self-conscious when you stare at me like that.
It always did. I told you I haven't changed.
So why do you do it?
Because I love to look at you. And because it's going to be so hard to...
Finish what you were saying.
No, it's... I would rather do something that I have wanted to do since the first time we were alone together.
Yeah, well, I'm feeling better every day now.
Good. Everything seems to be fine. I'll check with you first thing in the morning.
Are you leaving?
Yeah. Ed's waiting for me down in the lobby.
Oh, how come you're leaving so early?
Morgan and I are going to Wired for Sound tonight.
Oh. Sounds great.
You'll be up dancing around here yourself pretty soon if you keep on improving the way you are.
Yeah, well, anyway, have a terrific time, and say hello to everybody for me.
Sure. You have a good night.
Yeah, you have a good night too, Kelly. Because I got a little surprise for you tomorrow morning when you take me on my next walk down the hall.
So I'll come back for you, and we can leave straight from here and go to Wired for Sound.
Okay, but don't forget my things, or I'll have to go in my uniform.
I will pack it up the minute I get back. Huh. Which one is Nola's baby?
The one with the name tag, Reardon... I can't believe Nola pulled a stunt like that.
For once, I'm afraid I have to agree with you. Kelly Louise Reardon.
Poor Kelly. Oh, I hope he didn't see that before he left.
You had a very strong reaction when I told you that Diane Ballard had been murdered. Why?
Miss Ballard was a junior executive in my firm. Naturally, I'm shocked to hear that she was murdered.
What connection did Diane Ballard have with Carrie Anderson while they both worked here?
I've told you I don't know anybody named Carrie Anderson, nor do I remember. And that's the truth. But if you insist that she worked here with us all those years ago, then I'll have to take your word for it.
Well, maybe this photograph will refresh your memory.
No, I'm sorry. I can't give you any...
Now, look, Mr. Laird, Carrie is not just another client of mine. This is not just another case. Now, would you please just take a look at this photograph? It's a photograph of a young man that Carrie may have been in love with, perhaps during the time that she was working for you. You remember him, don't you? Now, listen, you've got to tell me everything you know about him, who he is, how he fits into Carrie's life.
There's nothing I can tell you.
Mr. Laird, you're lying to me.
Mr. Marther, if you really love this woman, and she was involved with that young man, then you must stop this investigation right now and just let it go.
Those are exactly the same words Carrie always uses. Now, how do you explain that?
For the sake of a great many innocent people, just drop it. Go home to Springfield and let it go.
This has been the award-winning Guiding Light. Fashions provided by Lily Rubin Salon, South Southwest, and Barney's. Furs by the Christie Brothers.